Hi, my name's Leon.
Hi, my name's Theo.
Hi, my name's Regan.
Hi, my name's Courtney.
Hi, my name's Matt. I'm studying cognitive neuropsychology at the University of Kent, and my main interests in the brain and face perception.
What makes the human brain unique?
Oh, wow. So what makes it unique is that it controls everything in your body. So it's this amazing organ in your body, approximately 86 billion cells in the brain, and it controls everything you do. So your heart beating, your lungs, all of that is controlled by the brain, and without the brain, you would be nothing.
How does your brain grow?
It grows as you grow, your brain grows as well. When you learn new things, this can create new cells in the brain and strengthen connections. So just like any other part of you, as you get older, your brain grows as you take in nourishment. The brain size increases as well.
Are male and female brains different?
As far as I'm aware, no. I don't think there's a significant difference, no.
Why does brain injury affect your body?
Because the brain controls the body. So, for example, the cerebellum, which is at the back of the brain, just at the base of the skull, that is general motor control. Now, if you damage the cerebellum, then that might affect the way you move the rest of your body. But fine motor control will be in the frontal lobe, and if you knocked that out, then you might not be able to do fine motor skills like playing a musical instrument, which requires quite intricate movements of fingers and stuff like that.
Can the brain fix itself?
At an early age, yeah, the brain's really, really good at that. At a later age, not so much. It's referred to as the plasticity of the brain, that it can rewire itself sometimes. But at an earlier age, the brain is more plastic, and it can actually compensate for damage.
But what do you mean by it's not as good at repairing itself when, you're older?
Well, when you're born, the brain's still developing with you. The older you get, the more set the brain becomes. So that when it gets damaged, that damage can actually be permanent, whereas it's just as bad when you're younger, but the brain can still compensate for it.
Can you make yourself cleverer?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah. So learning things creates new neurons in the brain. Neurons are our brain cells, and these connect via electrical signals. So if you've been learning something for a long time and you get that sense of tiredness in your head, it's because you've been working these connections, and the better you know something, the better these connections become. So it's like with practicing something. If you practice something for a long time, you get better and better at it until it becomes so easy. This is because the connection between these brain cells has become so well rehearsed that it's almost effortless.
What does the brain do when we lie?
Well, lying is quite a creative process. It means you have to create a new version of something that happened. So that would involve the more sort of creative aspects of the brain. If you imagine when you're lying, you have to fabricate, you have to completely rewrite what's happened. And you're doing this while you're telling someone. It's actually quite a difficult process, and it's quite a complicated process. So various elements of the right hemisphere would be at play, because the right hemisphere is generally specified for creativity in the brain.
Doesn't your brain give off glitches? So, if you've then fooled someone, you will do a quick smile, or your shoulder will move without you noticing.
Yeah, I've heard about these. So they're called micro-expressions. And it's where you might show, for a very, very brief instant, a smile, like you say, twitch. This could be a feeling of triumph if you think you've fooled someone. And this could come to the surface very, very quickly, but you suppress it. But even then, it's shown through. So this is one example of how someone could give away that they're lying. But the shoulder twitching is another thing, because lying in itself, you know you shouldn't be doing it, and you've got the fear of being caught out there. And in order to keep the lie undetectable, this takes a lot of effort, and it doesn't always work.
What happens to the brain when you are asleep?
Well, when you go to sleep, you go through different stages. There are 5 stages of sleep. Now, the 5th stage is called REM sleep. This is what happens when you dream. But sleep is really good for neural regeneration. And without sleep, the connections between neurons become desensitized. This is why, if you've not had a lot of sleep, this is why you might struggle to function as well, because these synaptic connections are less sensitive to the electrical impulses. So, yeah, when you go to sleep, it's almost like the brain is replenishing itself.
Why do we remember certain things but forget others?
With some things, if there's an emotional connection with a memory, then this will be easier to remember. Whereas if there's something mundane, like what I had for breakfast 2 days ago, I couldn't remember because it's of no emotional significance to me. It's not relevant. I don't need to remember it, therefore I don't.
Why do you hallucinate?
A hallucination is where you perceive something which isn't actually there, so it's entirely internal. And this could happen for a number of reasons. So someone could hallucinate because they've got something like a brain tumour, and it could be pressing on the occipital region of the brain, which is for vision. This would cause then the person to see something which isn't there. You can also have hallucinations of smell. So have you ever smelt something which wasn't actually there? That would be a hallucination. You can hear things which aren't there, and this could also be characterised by various disorders. Or a hallucination could be chemically induced. Various medications or something could cause a hallucination which would interact with chemicals in the brain, which would cause these hallucinations to occur.
Thank you for your time.
It's alright, it's been my pleasure.
Thanks.